For years, Americans have heard the same retirement number, $1 million. Save $1 million, and you're supposedly set for retirement. But here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no magic number that guarantees a comfortable retirement. For one American, $1 million could be a solid cushion. For another, it might disappear much faster. In 2026, the answer depends on far more than your balance. It depends on how much you spend, when you retire, where you live, how much Social Security you receive, and how long your money needs to last. So forget the popular retirement slogans. Let's look at what the numbers actually mean. The $1 million question. Imagine retiring with exactly $1 million invested. Sounds impressive, but suppose you need $60,000 every year. Before taxes, inflation, healthcare surprises, or major repairs, that is already a significant withdrawal. And retirement could last decades. That's why, is $1 million enough? Isn't really the right question. The better question, how much will I need to cover the gap between my retirement income and my retirement expenses? That one change in thinking can completely change your retirement number. Start with spending, not your salary. One of the biggest retirement mistakes is calculating your needs from your current salary. Retirement isn't about replacing your paycheck dollar for dollar. It's about funding your lifestyle. If you earn $100,000 today, you may not need $100,000 after retiring. Your mortgage might be paid off, commuting costs may disappear, and you may no longer be saving for retirement. But other costs can increase. Healthcare can become a bigger expense. You may travel more, help family members, and your home, car, insurance, and everyday expenses don't become free when you stop working. Start with annual spending. If you spend $50,000 today, ask whether retirement will require roughly that amount, less or more. That is the foundation of your plan. Then subtract Social Security. Social Security can provide an important foundation for retirement income. According to the Social Security Administration, the estimated average monthly retirement benefit for a retired worker in 2026 is about $2,071. Following the 2.8% cost of living adjustment, that's about $24,852 per year. If you need $50,000 a year, and Social Security provides about $24,852, your remaining gap is roughly $25,148. That gap is what your savings and investments need to help cover. This is why two people with the same retirement balance can have completely different financial situations. One might need $70,000 a year from investments. Another might need only $25,000. The account balance alone doesn't tell the story. Where does the $1 million number come from? You've probably heard of the 4% rule. The basic idea is that a retiree might withdraw around 4% of a retirement portfolio during the first year, then adjust withdrawals for inflation over time. It can be a useful planning concept, but it is not a guarantee. Markets vary, inflation changes, people live different lengths of time, and taxes and spending vary. 4% of $1 million is $40,000. That doesn't mean $1 million portfolio automatically produces a guaranteed $40,000 forever. It simply shows the scale. A $20,000 spending gap is very different from a $60,000 gap. Housing can change everything. One of the biggest factors in retirement is housing. Imagine retiring with a large mortgage versus entering retirement with the home largely paid off. Monthly cash flow requirements could look dramatically different. Ask, will I still have a mortgage? What will property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and repairs cost? A paid-off house doesn't mean housing is free, but eliminating a large mortgage can make a major difference in retirement cash flow. Don't forget healthcare. Healthcare is another expense people often underestimate. Even with Medicare, retirees can face premiums, deductibles, supplemental coverage, prescriptions, dental care, vision care, and other out-of-pocket costs. Healthcare expenses aren't always predictable, so your plan needs room for surprises. Inflation is the silent problem. Suppose you retire with enough money to support your lifestyle today. What happens 10 or 20 years from now? If prices rise, that same amount of money won't buy as much. Retirement planning is also about protecting purchasing power. Social Security receives annual cost of living adjustments. For 2026, the COLA is 2.8%. But your entire retirement budget won't necessarily rise at exactly the same rate. Your personal spending pattern matters. You have more control than you think. Here's the good news. You can influence several parts of the equation. Increase your savings rate. Take advantage of an employer match. Reduce high-interest debt. Control recurring expenses. Consider working longer if appropriate. And think carefully about when to claim Social Security. The goal isn't simply the biggest investment account. It's creating a retirement system where income, savings, investments, and spending work together. Retirement accounts matter. For 2026, the IRS says employees can contribute up to $24,500 to a 401k, 403b, governmental 457 plan, or federal thrift savings plan, subject to the rules. The general catch-up contribution is $8,000 for employees age 50 and older. The 2026 IRA contribution limit is $7,500 with additional catch-up opportunities for eligible older savers. These limits don't mean everyone should contribute the maximum. Your strategy can involve workplace plans, IRAs, taxable investments, Social Security, and other income sources. The retirement number is different for everyone. Imagine one retiree needs $40,000 per year, while another needs $90,000. Would you give both the same retirement target? Of course not. The right retirement number is personal, and one of the biggest factors is your spending gap. If you can reduce the amount you need from investments, you may reduce the amount you need to accumulate before retirement. It means understanding where your money actually goes. The biggest retirement mistake. Perhaps the biggest mistake is waiting until you're close to retirement. If you're decades away, you have something incredibly valuable on your side: time. Regular contributions have more time to potentially grow through compounding. If you're approaching retirement, don't assume it's too late. Your strategy simply needs to change with more attention to spending, Social Security timing, taxes, healthcare, debt, and investment risk. So, how much do you really need? Forget the idea that every American needs exactly $1 million. Instead, calculate 5 things: your expected annual retirement spending, your predictable income including Social Security or a pension, your annual income gap, your retirement timeline, and your safety margin. What happens if markets fall, inflation stays high, healthcare costs increase, or your roof needs replacing? That's how you get closer to a realistic target, not by copying someone else's number. Final thought. So, is $1 million enough to retire in 2026? The honest answer is, it depends. For some, it could be enough. For others, far from enough. The real retirement number is hidden inside your own numbers. Your spending, housing costs, Social Security, healthcare, investments, taxes, and the number of years your money needs to last. So don't chase a round number just because everyone else is talking about it. Build your own number, because the goal isn't to become a millionaire on paper. The goal is to reach retirement with enough financial flexibility that your money doesn't control every decision you make. You need a retirement plan built around your life. If this video helped you see retirement planning differently, subscribe to The Fiscal Diet for more practical money lessons for everyday Americans.